Hi. Okay, so this video is not going to be like the typical Blender progression video that you see online, where it's just going to be a time lapse and, oh, this date I did this date I did this. No. The reason I'm making this video is so that I can actually give you some value. Because throughout this entire tenure, I've learned so much, and even before this, I want to condense it down to you. And I want to make the same path easier for you so that you can get quicker results. Learning to sculpt characters is so hard. There's so much that I need to learn. There's anatomy, there's proportions, there's stylized sculpts, there's realism, and it's so much to learn. These are the thoughts that ran throughout my mind. Whenever I would look for references online, whenever I would look for anatomy online, there would be so many stuff out there that it would confuse me. It would literally scare me. And even when I tried to sculpt, when I tried to make something, it would always turn out to be a piece of shit. Let me tell you that 5 years ago was the first time that I ever sculpted a character, and this is what it looked like. And let me tell you, I fell in love with how it felt to sculpt, to create this character. It was amazing. I was still in university back then, and for another class, I had made this low poly cute character. It was for my final year project. I made an entire 3 minute 30 seconds animation for this. Which at the point is, to make these low poly cute characters, I didn't require much anatomy knowledge. This is something that I could sculpt very easily. And you can find tutorials for this on how to sculpt a cute character in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's available online. You follow it, you actually make a character. But by the end of that tutorial, you learn nothing. I enjoyed sculpting more than I enjoyed making this low poly cute character. But people would just appreciate the low poly character more. They thought, oh, this is cute. Did you make this? Wow, this is really nice. But when I showed them the sculpture character, they would be like, whoa, they would gross out because obviously it looks nothing human. It looks like an alien. I looked up to these artists like Jan Sculpts, Danny Mac, Speedchar. And my lack of anatomy knowledge, my lack of the fundamentals didn't allow me to sculpt characters even remotely close. Even when I tried to practice, it wouldn't turn out well. So what do you think I did? My monkey brain, the Jerry inside of me, he told me, hey, just make cute characters. People really like this more. It's going to look good on your portfolio. So yeah, I kept making these kind of characters. I made these characters because they got a bit more reaction out of people. Whenever I would post them, they would get a bit more likes. Then I would also work on product renders. This is what I started learning because that was what was in the market. I kept learning these things. I started freelancing in this genre that I wasn't even interested in because I thought this is what makes money. I got a part-time job as a 3D artist in a mobile game industry where I would make these low poly assets. If you know hyper casual games, that is what I make. I'm the only artist in my team. I make the entire models, the animations, the environments, the props, everything that goes into the game, I make it. And yeah, it felt really good to see your products, to see your artwork in other people's game. And when it's published, you see other people playing with it. It feels really good. Also, I became a top rated freelancer on Upwork, where I would just offer these low poly character services, product rendering services. And in the meanwhile, I just kept pushing what I was passionate about on the side. I wasn't passionate about these things. Yeah, they helped me grow as an artist, but it wasn't fulfilling for me. The only reason that I was pushing it away was because it was hard, because it was uncomfortable. And throughout these years, in between, I would have these random bursts of motivation of, hey, let's sculpt something, let's learn anatomy, finally. And I would buy courses. I bought various different courses. I watched various different tutorials. And I would stick to them maybe for a week or maybe 2 weeks at max, but then I would abandon them because I couldn't see progress quick enough. The results that I was getting from practicing, learning from these courses wasn't as good as what I was making on the low poly characters or in the product renders. So guess what? I ditched it again. Now work was great. Freelancing was great. I was having a really good time. But, honestly, I felt like there's a void in my art that I'm not filling. Even though things are going really good, things are really great, but I still felt like it wasn't fulfilling enough for me. The reason is because the reason I wanted to be an artist was so that I can make characters. I love characters. But I'm focusing on everything else other than characters. Weird, right? And just because of that, I felt like my art isn't progressing. I feel like I'm stuck in the same place. Although I'm improving in other areas, but those areas, they don't matter. Because my goal was never to become a product renderer. My goal was to make characters that I like. So in the December of 2023, I decided that I'm going to learn this no matter what. Because I just realized that the creators that I'm looking up to, they're not sent from the sky. And instead of worshipping them or worshipping their art, I should dissect their art and learn from them. Now the thing is that we always look up an art station and we look at these amazing artworks and then we feel demotivated because we think that this is a level that we can never attain. But how do you think? I really want you to think right now. Just think. How did your favorite character, not character, your favorite creator reach that point? How did he reach that point? Do you think he was born with like a magic Wacom pen and then he would just put it on his tablet and then make a masterpiece? Of course not. What we get to see on ArtStation, what we get to see on social media is just the polished version of them. We only hear about the success stories, but we never see the failures. We never see the time that your favorite artist struggled with practicing. You never get to see that. You never get to see the time that when he felt demotivated, when he felt like he's not growing, he's stuck in the same place, like he's in a rut. You never get to see that. What do you get to see? You get to see the polished version. And then you think, oh wow, this guy has a gift for art. The reality is they put in the same amount of work that you have to, but you're not putting it. Why? Because you're living a false narrative. You think that it's talent. But let me tell you, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. And I had to take a big hit to my ego, literally. It was like a punch to the gut, man. Because I've been working as a 3D artist professionally for 5 years. I had worked on 200 plus different projects. And to learn anatomy and to learn characters, I have to start at the basics. It was a blow to my ego that I have to learn the basics? Me? But yeah, if I want to be a good character artist, I have to start from the root up. So yeah, I bought 2 courses by Speechart. And I don't remember the exact date. When was it in December that I started to practice sculpting? But yeah, I remember that it was December because my monkey was like, hey, let's wait for the new year. And I thought, no, if I can't make a change right now, I won't make a change at New Year. So yeah, I think it was just a week left in New Year's or 2 weeks. I just bought these 2 courses by Speechart, which was the female anatomy course and the superhuman anatomy course. These are the 2 courses that I bought. And yeah, that was the start of my journey. So I had freelance work. I have a part-time job. I live with my family. And the only way that I could make time to practice sculpting consistently, I had to wake up early. So I started getting up at 3 a.m. every morning just so that I can make time to practice before my work starts. Because after work, I don't have the mental energy or the mentality or how would you say? Yeah, I don't have the energy to work on it. And I thought to myself, man, if I work hard so much for someone else, why can't I work hard for myself? If my boss asked me, hey, just come an hour early to the office or come an hour early online, I would be there. If he asked me to work on a Saturday, I would work. But when it comes to my own goals, my own projects, I slack. Then I want to procrastinate. I want to be lazy. So yeah, I thought that if I can work hard for someone else, I can work harder for myself. And I started getting up at 3 a.m. every morning. And I would really recommend you to do that as well. Because that time you're not stimulated by social media, by your phone, by these dopamine hits. Your brain is fresh. That time is so peaceful. There is no distraction. So yeah, I would get up early in the morning and the first thing I would do is watch that course and perform with it. And yet just to set a benchmark, I took this screenshot of the first sculpt that I made. I wanted to see how much that I'm going to improve. And I told myself that every time I want to see how much progression I have made, I won't look up. I won't look at the goals. I won't look at the artist that I look up to. I'm going to look back to this sculpt, to this screenshot, so that I can remind myself of how far I have come, how much I have improved. And this was such a life-changing perspective for me. I practice it till this date. I don't look up to okay, this is what I could be, or this is what I'm aiming for. But I look down on the artworks that I was creating. Because when we look up and we see that, oh man, they are creators who are making this kind of artwork. These are like God tier masterpieces. I can never reach that. You feel demotivated. So the thing that I started to do was to look back at my work and allow myself to be happy. Allow myself to be proud of, hey man, you're improving. You're learning. You're growing. I removed all competition and all comparisons from my life. And the only person left to compete with was me from yesterday. And as long as I'm doing better, as long as I can see someone who's better, who's improving, who's growing than what I was yesterday, I'm on a good path and I'm happy. And I would like you to pause, okay? Let's just pause. And I want you to think and reflect back on the countless times that you had the opportunity to appreciate yourself, but you didn't because you were just so fixated on a bigger goal. You could have appreciated your work. You could have appreciated how much you've grown, but you just compared your artwork to another artist and then you demotivated yourself. Hasn't that happened? Just reflect back and think, hasn't that happened? I really want you to think of the time when you made progress, but you were so fixated on this goal that you weren't able to see it. Now just imagine like a super big fat Jerry with like man boobs and everything. And if he sits on you, you're going to flatline. Okay? He's going to eliminate you from the world. That's how fat he is. And he says, okay, I want to reduce weight. And then he gets on the perfect diet. He works relentlessly. He sacrifices all the sweet things that he ever liked. And yeah, for a month, he's working hard. He's training. He's not eating any sugar. He's eating clean and doing all that. And after a month, he loses 30 kilos. But still, he's 170 kilos. And when he looks himself in the mirror, he's still fat. He still struggles to find clothes his size. And yeah, after 1 month of making all the sacrifices, of working hard, he's still fat. So he looks in the mirror and then he says, oh man, this isn't working. And then he gives up. He gives up. Now, what do you think was the problem here? What do you think was the problem here? The problem was that he was so fixated on getting slim that he didn't realize that, oh man, I just lost 30 kilos in a month, which is like a super big achievement. It's like an amazing feat. But because he was so fixated on that goal, he didn't even took the time to appreciate himself. Now, let's compare this to a fat Da Vinci. A Da Vinci is a person who has a good mind, a healthy mind, an artist mind. Now, this is the kind of mindset that you want. Now, the fat Da Vinci is 200 kilos as well. He does the same things. Everything's the same. After 1 month, he loses 30 kilos. And then he looks in the mirror and he's still fat. But he says, whoa, holy shit. It's been a month. I just lost 30 kilos in a month. If I do this for another 3 months, I am going to reach my dream goal. I'm going to reach my dream weight. Do you see what the difference was here? Do you see what the difference is here? It's just the mindset. It's just the way that he chose to perceive it. It's just the way that he chose to approach that. The situation, the scenario is entirely the same, but just the way that he decided to look at the situation changed everything. And similarly for you, if you are an artist, if you are working on your art, and you are doing one course, one tutorial and think that you're going to become a master, it's not going to happen, man. You need to take out the time to appreciate the little wins that you get. If you don't appreciate yourself, no one else will. No one else will. Instead of thinking that, okay, I have a month and I want to become a corrected artist, I want to become professional. No. Just set yourself a little target for a week. See if you've improved within that week. And if you have, come on, man, cheer yourself up. Appreciate yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Do whatever. You need to be happy. And I promise you, when I started doing this, I literally just started taking little wins and enjoying my own work, my own progress. And I didn't even realize when I completed the course. I didn't even realize when I made my first cool corrector. When your mindset changes, when you flip that switch, when instead of a goal making you happy and effort making you happy, you're going to find yourself in a very good place. Because the goal will eventually come. You will eventually reach the goal. The difficult part is the journey, right? The journey is tough. It's long. It's tough, isn't it? What if you fell in love with the journey? Because if you start to appreciate yourself for these little wins, if you start to appreciate yourself for effort, for days when, oh man, I didn't feel like sculpting, but I sculpted anyways. And when you start to appreciate that, you're gonna love the journey. And if you love the journey, the destination is not far. You're enjoying the journey so much, you're gonna reach the destination anyways. But if you just take a few steps and think, oh man, I still can't see the destiny. Then you took another few steps and still can't see the destiny, you're gonna give up. I want you to realize that good things, they take time. Some things are meant to be hard. Why do you think you appreciate good art? Because you know that person worked hard. If it was really that easy, you wouldn't see anyone complaining about how hard it is. You wouldn't be watching this video. If it was really that easy, you wouldn't be watching this video. You would be making your dream characters, right? It's hard. Yes. It takes time. Yes. But the moment that you realize this, the moment that you accept that this is hard, it starts to get easy. You know this is hard, but you commit to doing it anyways. Then it is when it starts to get easy. It gets easy because you now save so much time looking for a shortcut that never existed. You look for quick wins, how to get quick progress, how to sculpt quickly. These type of tutorials, they have never helped you. And now that you realize that, yeah, this will take time, you won't waste time on these stupid videos, on these stupid courses that promise you to teach anatomy really quick, but it doesn't. You save all the time that is spent looking for an easy way. There is no easy way. The easiest way is to commit to it, is to work hard. The fastest way forward is to take it slow. Now, with this mindset, I want you to move forward with this video, okay? So yeah, I bought these 2 courses from Speechart. I started practicing them, and I promised myself that I won't move to the next video unless I nail the previous one. And I made this promise because for all of the previous courses that I bought, you know what I would do? I would literally skim through them. I would perform, and no matter what the result, I would just proceed with the next video. And then I would think to myself, hey man, I'm going to come back to this course and then I'm going to improve. Let me just get through this course, okay? That was my monkey brain. That was the Jerry inside of me convincing me to do that. And guess what? You already know what the answer is. I never came back. You do this as well, right? And I know you never came back as well. So yeah, I just promised myself that I won't proceed till I get the result. And whenever I would feel stuck, something that wasn't covered inside the course, I would go online, watch some documentaries, watch some real life skulls and learn things on my own. And I would come back and implement them. And until I got the result that I wanted, I did not proceed. I would sculpt whatever I would sculpt. I would try to follow the instructor the best that I could. And at the end of my sculpting session, I would look at my sculpture and I would try to identify the mistakes that I'm making. I would make comparisons with the instructor and see, okay, what is the area that I'm lacking in? And the next time I sculpt it, I try to improve on it. And this is such a crucial step. This is such a small step, but I missed this every time in my learning. If I had done this literally before, I would have made so much progress. I wouldn't have wasted like 5 years of my life. Because if you're not doing this, you are insane. I was insane. Albert Einstein said that insanity is doing the same things over and over again. Oh shit, I dropped my pen. Yeah, it's doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different outcome. That is insanity. That is what you're doing. That is what I was doing. I would just keep making art thinking that, okay, this is what is going to improve my art. Just do more, practice more. This is the advice that you get, right? Just practice more. Practice makes you perfect. Bullshit. This is insanity. Sculpting 100 heads is not going to help you as much as you sculpt one head and then identify your mistakes and implement it the next time. I promise you. You do this every time you sculpt, every time you make art, you're going to progress like never before. I was practicing this every day and then I was sculpting heads like this in literally no time. No time. And because I had been through all this stuff with this overwhelming amount of information that I had to filter out, I made my own course. People started to ask me, where are you learning from? How did you improve so much? And I thought that, okay, I'm going to teach them the way that I wish I had been taught. I'm going to filter through all the bullshit advice and tell them how you can sculpt. So I made my first course, which was the Noob Guides to Head Sculpting. And I am making it free. free, no cost, if you join my school. So if you go and check the link in the description, you can join my school right now, get access to this course and the community for free. We will cover more about the community coming forward, okay? We're going to talk about it in a sec. So yeah, I deliberately just practiced heads, only heads. Let me just take a sip because my tea is getting cold. Okay, it's cold now. Fine, let me record this video first. Okay. So yeah, I deliberately practiced only heads because I wanted to focus on one thing at a time. I've made this stupid mistake before where I wanted to learn everything at the same time, which are just focusing on one area, getting really good at it, and then proceeding forward. So I practiced heads, I got really good at it, I made a course about it, and then I proceeded to learning anatomy. And when I applied the previous knowledge and the previous lessons that I learned before, I got insane results really, really quick, super quick. And I promise you, I fell in love with sculpting. Just with a simple change of mindset that instead of focusing on the goal, I just focused on getting little wins every day. I was enjoying it so much. I was enjoying it. I didn't need anyone else to validate my art. Previously, I was making art to please others, right? I told you. Now I was making what is going to please me. And the only thing that will please me is when I look in the mirror, I see someone every day who's improving. The next morning when I wake up and I see the mirror, I want to see someone who's working hard and improving and is being honest to himself. Because I had been dishonest with myself for a very long time. Very long. Painfully long. Literally, painfully long. So yeah, just like the head, I did the same steps before, got up early, started learning anatomy and documented my journey all over YouTube. And when I completed the course, I made my first full body corrector. Then I made my second full body corrector. And in the meanwhile, whenever I would feel stuck, let's say I don't know how to sculpt the arms, I would practice it specifically. Whenever I would struggle with the legs, I would practice it specifically, improving on the areas that I know that requires improvement. It's a no-brainer, right? It is boring, yes, but this is how you grow. And when you're growing, you're enjoying. And after I completed the male anatomy, I focused on female anatomy. And I did the same steps over again. And then I made my first ever full body female corrector. I made full body female correctors before this, but yeah, they were made by the Jerry version of me. Where this was my first legit full body, good anatomy female corrector. And with all of the knowledge and experience I had gathered in these months, I wanted to try some things new. And so we had this weekly challenge in my community where we were making Goku. And I was sculpting it. It was already fine. But then I thought, maybe let me just try stylizing it a bit more. And I tried it. The result was really interesting. So I posted it inside my school. I asked for feedback. And everyone was like, do the what was it? Yeah, do the stylized version. Sorry. Do the stylized version. Yeah, everybody told me, do the stylized version. And then I did the stylized version. It turned out to be so freaking amazing. I'm in shock myself. It was a fun accident that happened while I was sculpting. And now this is something that I want to explore more. I will make a complete breakdown of this corrector. So yeah, just subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss it. I'm going to walk you through the process. And yeah, it has been quite a journey. I've really enjoyed it. I never thought I would. I thought that learning anatomy will be like a chore. It's going to be something that is going to be difficult. But because I was so in love with the journey, I enjoyed it so much. And I'm on a mission to help make artists more productive. I'm in a mission to help them make love art again. And I want to help you. So join my free school. Join my free community of productive artists, of artists who really want to do better, who want to get better. And yeah, you will get personal help through weekly calls. We do weekly calls every week. You will get access to head sculpting course. You will get access to this anatomy course for free. Because I know that how much did I struggle with. I know I realized the pain that I went through. And this is the basics for everything. Even if you want to make stylized sculpts, even if you want to make stylized correctors, whatever, you still need anatomy knowledge. You still need to start from the basics. And I promise I'm going to make it so easier for you. Literally, the people inside the community, they get results within a month. because I focus only on the essentials. No bullshit. You don't even need to remember the name of the muscle. Oh, it's sternocleidomastoid. Who cares? Does remembering the name makes your art better? No. So yeah, we only focus on the essentials that is going to get you results. I have made anatomy easier and taught in a way that I wish I was taught. And I'm giving you access for free. So just click the link in the description. Join right now. Weekly calls for personal help. You will get these courses. You will get access to a free community of serious artists, of people who are struggling just like you and want to be better. You will get a community of like-minded artists. And all of this for no cost to you. So yeah, I think we have enough tutorials. And what we need now is a mindset. It's a change in mindset. And if you want to make characters as well, want to learn how to sculpt but don't know where to start, click on the link in the description right now. Join my school and get access to these courses. It's not going to get easier, I promise you. Goodbye, take care, and see you around.